Welcome to this week's episode of the Relly and Deli podcast. I'm Relly.
And I'm Deli. And today we are sending out our SOS because we are sending help. Please send help. Let's talk about send help. Oh my God, it's happening. Oh my God. Oh, it's a crazy intro. I started doing a little too much and then it happened there.
You're insane.
But yes, today we're doing send help. We want to talk about send help. We are discussing send help. So
but what are we discussing?
Send help.
Oh.
Yes, it is the new movie for 2026. It is starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. It was directed by the great Sam Raimi. And just to give you guys a setup. Have you seen the trailer? You know the setup. Yes. But essentially, we got an asshole boss played by Dylan O'Brien. Beyond. Yeah. We have a hard-working, allegedly middle-aged Rachel McAdams.
Allegedly.
She's a hard-working. I think she would call her shoes like mules.
Yeah.
That's the antithesis of who she is.
Yeah.
She's a work mule, and she is being overlooked and used in the workplace. And through a series of circumstances, they have to travel, and she is brought in to travel for work. And the plane crashes, and they end up on a deserted island. And there is a switch. Says she wanna do a switch. Anyway,
who sung it?
So
that may have been a copyright.
It might have been a copyright. I cannot confirm or deny. But they end up doing there's a huge power dynamic switch because now Dylan is like severely like injured to the point where he's not even conscious when they first get there. And Rachel is a huge fan of Survivor. So she not only is she a fan, but she has taken upon herself to learn different things throughout her life, and that is going to come in handy now.
Ciao.
So that's the setup. As you know, we do our 4 categories here. First one being story, second being acting and dialogue, third being cinematography, and then the fourth being sound design. We give our overall score. So yeah, that's the setup for the story. We're going to jump in. For the story, I gave it. Before we get into this, I do want to say, no, yeah, we're gonna have to edit that. But anyway, the story, I gave the story a 9.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the story. I don't even know why I dinged it. Honestly, in hindsight, I probably could have gave it a 10 because I don't know anything else like this. To this degree, like the story that I just set up for y'all, like I don't know any other movies like that.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 9. It probably should be a 10, but I'm gonna stick to what I gave it. This is a Sam Raimi production, and so it has dark humor, horror elements, and a degree of grossness. Because he do get down. If y'all don't know, Sam Raimi has quite the repertoire. He did the original Evil Dead back in 81, I believe. He also did the sequel to that. He did a movie in the 2000s called The Gift, which is actually very toned down. He also did the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire, Drag Me to Hell, Oz the Great and the Powerful, and he also did Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So he has quite the repertoire, not to mention his producer credits. So if you have seen any of those movies or have a feel for Sam Raimi, this is very much that. It starts off very, what's the word? It starts off kind of mundane. It looks like it would be like just a drama or just like a office something. But it slowly, you start to see horror elements and you slowly start to see, the craziness unfold.
See, for me, I felt like it wasn't mundane. But I think because there's different degrees of
mundane is the word.
Horror. Yeah. It is very like, I don't know. I think there's different degrees of horror. And you have like, in this film, it's really like a suspense film, thriller.
Yeah.
But you also have like those stranded alone, situational, environmental ones where it's like
Maybe
minimal
situational
cast.
is
Yeah.
the thing. It starts off as an office situational,
Yeah.
and then slowly, quickly
Begins out. But I think for me, there was a lot of emotional conflict that for me was very horrific. It's hard. Contrary to popular belief, people being embarrassed is a lot for me to take.
It's a lot. I mean, that's not. I didn't believe otherwise.
You know, people think I like to embarrass people.
Ooh, what have you heard?
That's different. Like watching this was painful.
Yeah.
Giving it.
He was going through it.
I actually gave it a lower score for story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
do you know why? Do you recall why?
Kinda. I give it an 8. It could fluctuate between the 3, an 8, 9, or a 10. It really just depends, right?
Yeah.
At face value, young woman, horrible boss, plane crashes, stranded, and then like trying to escape.
Yeah.
So at that face value, 10, right?
Yeah.
There are certain elements and stuff that we see that I think are reminiscent of other things outside of the genre, right?
That's true, actually.
And
there was one movie in particular that we were like, this is that.
Yeah. So
You're right.
the dynamic of her, it's like if you were to take Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman and ratchet that shit up and take the embarrassment, the office turmoil.
Yeah,
it was so day to day and it was so grounded and real. The just sadness of her being disliked in her office. I literally couldn't look at the screen.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, I had to cover my face.
Yeah.
Because it was too much.
It was a lot of secondhand embarrassment.
Wow. And you know, it was one thing. Spoiler alert, we watched
Wonder Man.
And he is as awkward. However, he's also a bit of a jerk.
Yeah.
Linda for the majority of this, is not a jerk. Especially at work. She's not doing anything to be rude. Yeah. She's trying to be liked. She can't perceive people being mean because she's not trying to be. She's been, as we learn over time, victimized to a different degree. And she has some darkness there and some loneliness. But she really, at face value, is just a nice person. So watching her coworkers really be rude to her, I've had moments like that at places where I'm like, this person is super annoying. I'm like, I can't take this annoying person. Yeah. Then other people start to chime in, and I'm like, all right, everybody, back up, because this isn't an us getting on this person thing for no reason. Like, they're annoying me, but we don't need to trash this person. Now I have to go be nice to them and go out of my way to make sure that they feel included. Like when we're at parties or events and you can see when someone is trying to enter the conversation and no one wants them there. That's
Linda. That's Rachel McAdams' Linda for sure.
And
she makes jokes, and I think they are like quote unquote dad jokes.
Yeah,
but they're not bad. I mean, it's not enough for them to be acting the way they acting to me.
And I don't know if it's the blackness or the gayness, but if somebody says something that's like very crazy, like, you're like, girl, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Girl, anyways, like, you could diffuse it, give him a little laugh or something. Yeah. She got nothing from anyone ever. What's Dylan's character's name?
Dylan's character is Bradley Preston.
Bradley the bitch, out of control. That was, when I tell you.
So tired.
Yeah, he looks exhausted. This was a bold move, Mr. O'Brien. You took one of the worst characters I've ever seen in a long time. Every bad thing a man could be on camera, except for somebody who physically assaults someone sexually, he portrayed.
He did do that.
It was aggressive. It was just like, wow, I really hope you get hurt badly. And I was like, whoa, so toxic. You could see him. Oh, when he first meets her, she's like the tuna.
Yeah, the tuna. She had a piece of tuna on her lip, and that was like the side of her mouth. Honestly, that was gross because it's like I don't like mayo. And so that was mixed in, and it was just sitting there precariously, and that's the drama of it too. Like that's a Sam Raimi thing.
Yeah.
Like the zoom in on that, it's like the
his Spidey senses were
zoom. Yeah, that zoom in on SpongeBob, and it's just like, oh,
take it.
It's hideous. Yeah. Oh, his name is Bradley. Bradley couldn't take it. And that was honestly relatable.
Absolutely. I've spoken to people who are like that, and I've also been the person who went through school all day talking to people with my friends. Get home on my lips a Kool-Aid red stain, you bitches. Nobody told me, Jay. You know, nothing. You spilled some syrup on your shirt for fucking breakfast, and you're walking around with syrup stains on your polo all day.
You're so we've dirty, all been. You're filthy.
I feel like people have been in both sides. Most people, where you're talking to someone who has something off-putting about them, and you've been speaking to someone not realizing you're not 100%, and you have something off-putting, and then you go and you sit down, you look in the mirror or something, you're like, oh my goodness, I talked to them with a freaking booger up my nose, or like a spinach in my teeth or something. At one point, it looked like Linda was literally snacking on either lipstick or Crayola crayon.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere too.
It often does.
Yeah, it was just like, oh girl,
you know.
But you wouldn't know if nobody tells you. And everybody kind of treats her like whatever, girl.
Like inconsequential. And apparently, the owner of the company was the dad.
Yeah,
who promised her
Bradley's
everything.
Dad.
Bradley came in. Said fuck that bitch. He had his little frat bros and was like elevating them. So
elevator 1 stop.
That was that. There's parts of like being stranded was very triangle of sadness.
Very triangle of sadness. And I think that's why I ended up dinging this. I think I dinged it because I actually had 8 or 9. Couldn't decide.
Yeah, I put 8.
I think I ended up dinging it for those points because it was similar to Triangle of Sadness. And it also
slightly,
ever so slightly. And then there was a one point where a character sees something and then begins a descent. And I was like, I feel like you're gonna begin a descent.
Yeah, this was literally that. And then there was one other thing. Hold on before I get. It was also very promising young woman to a degree.
Oh, you feel so?
As far as just the delivery of her, the fire in her, and she had a sort of a vendetta after one point of executing a plan.
Yeah.
And with all that being said, of all of the things, the most glaring is a triangle of sadness. There's only so many ways you can be stranded on an island.
Yeah.
So there's that, and I think that's just the most recent one. It could have gone very Blue Lagoon, which it did not. It could have gone very Castaway, and it didn't. And I just think with it being a strong female lead, them being on the island and everything, it kind of just went in that degree because of those elements aligning. Ultimately, though, I think a solid 8. And I think it was a very successful film as far as the story goes.
Yeah.
Failing those elements, but it didn't pull me out too much.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I didn't feel like I was being pulled out. Can I just say that scene in Triangle of Sadness where I think the boat is flooding, it just stays in my mind. And that bitch getting sluiced.
I pushed that out of my mind forever.
That bitch, as an old person, I think, as an old person, and like everything's flooding, and so they were still like drinking and eating, but then like the ship took a turn, and so she got sluiced out into the hallway. At the same time that everybody was
food poisoned.
Yeah.
Oh, I reject this memory.
Please do. But that just lives in my mind for you. And I'm like, it's such an ugly sling too. But yeah, the last thing I had to say on the story was also witchcraft. If you want to, you could see a whole subplot with Linda Little being some kind of witch of sorts and coming to power. Because before the plane crash, she was in a bit of a dilemma. And it was literally on her screen to save this file or don't save this file. She said, don't save. And as soon as she clicked that shit, the whole plane went down.
Absolutely.
And then, you see her on the island coming into her own. That's a witch coming to power.
I will say,
connected to her roots and
I
her
will
primal
say,
energy.
Yeah. And you know what? let's talk a little bit more about the story. We won't get too into it because we won't ruin the end.
We don't want to ruin it for you guys.
It's a brand new movie.
You just want to set it up so you have an idea of what you're getting into.
Yeah, I will say. Let's see. There's also, cause, I touched on the Catwoman thing. They also tried to pull that off in Wonder Woman, and it just did not work.
Oh, you didn't feel like?
No.
Oh wait, Wonder Woman. Were you trying to have?
When they tried to turn
when they trying to turn
frumpy,
girl
loser, woman, ugly bitch, disrespected by men,
the cheetah woman.
Put in a situation where
I
they
did like that. I really would have liked. I would have liked it. Transform. I would have really liked them to. Give her more.
And what?
I mean, I think because she ended up by the end, she was just fully CG. I don't know.
Oh, you still talking about Wonder Woman trash?
Yeah.
No.
What
I'm saying is, those things are reminiscent of this.
Okay.
And I think that there was a similar evolution of seeing her.
Yeah.
She starts to glow. And, there's a whole thing in Hollywood about, like, women getting opportunities and like the validity of an actress's skill compared to her being able to not play glam up. I don't want to use the U word.
Yeah.
But we have Halle Berry in Monster, wasn't a glamorous role. We have is it Charlize who did Monster?
Wait, I thought you said Halle Berry did
Monsters Ball is what Halle Berry did. Okay. Halle Berry did Monsters Ball. I think Charlize did the Eileen Wuornos.
Yeah,
was
I think
her?
That was called Monster.
In
yeah,
Monster.
I think that was her. Yeah.
Playing a role that's not glam, because let's not kid ourselves. It's Rachel motherfucking McAdams, bitch.
Yeah.
She is the mean girl. She's Regina fucking George.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay? So seeing her play down as Linda Little in that office was wild. But let me tell you, she got up there in that sunlight, and I think there were certain things that were very interesting because when she got out into the sunlight in that natural element, she flourished. Her skin glowed.
That's why I'm saying it's a whole subplot of this bitch being a witch.
And look at what happened to Brad. Brad got burnt like hell, and she was more pale than him. Yeah. But that sun was burning him. He just couldn't take it, and she could. So I think there were certain things in the story that was very unique and great in how they showed it. There were things I didn't like. Like there's a moment where he first really betrays her in a certain way, and it didn't make sense. At that point in time, the extreme when he was trying to leave the island without her, it literally made no sense. Okay, so she had a story that was this was kind of aggressive for you to say. Yeah. But girl, you really, I guess you weren't in danger, but you really weren't in danger.
You weren't in danger.
To go to that extreme towards her, to me was we have to push the story and separate them from being friendly, and it was too much. The dynamic
that was fine for me.
Okay.
It was. I feel it. I mean, just the ups and downs.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, y'all are who y'all are. Y'all are who y'all are anyway.
Yeah.
So it was y'all can only go for so far with being friendly.
Yeah. And I think that for the majority of the film, I wanted her to be a perfect innocent. Yeah. And anything that she did to this man would be valid. And then they played around with the idea of her, not being so innocent. I didn't necessarily like some of that, for her character. But other than that, yes, I'll give it 8.
Okay. Well, I mean, that takes us right into acting and dialogue. I feel like a lot of the points that we've said here could be under acting and dialogue.
Yeah.
But we're doing it now. So, I give acting and dialogue a 10. I think they both did a really good job. Again, our two mains here are Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. Rachel McAdams, as Relling has mentioned, she's normally a love interest. Her big movies are The Notebook, Mean Girls, About Time, The Vow. She was in Doctor Strange. Red Eye was probably the closest thing that she's done to this. Wedding Crashers. She's
my sister in the MCU.
She's more of a love interest type of situation. They have her also in Southpaw, Sherlock Holmes. The the time traveler's wife.
Yeah.
I mean, how more lovey-dovey, you know. So this was definitely a departure for her, I feel. And she did it. She was firing on all cylinders, and she definitely showed some range. Dylan O'Brien, he's known for The Maze Runner, Teen Wolf. He had another movie to come out last year called Twinless. I think we saw the trailer once, and I just added it to my queue, but it's on Hulu now, so we'll be watching that soon.
All right, Dylan.
Yeah, he was in the Maze Runner series throughout, and Love and Monsters, that was him too.
Wow.
Remember that?
That was you.
That was
okay.
him. So he's not always
a scumbag.
I would say this is probably out of
the norm for him.
Yeah, because this type of situation is very much what's his name? Peter Millard.
Yeah.
In Beekeeper. It's very much like definitely playing against time. But yeah. So I think the characters have dimension to them. Like we really learn a bit about their pasts as well throughout this experience. And then you also, they have growth and ups and downs and on all kinds of stuff on this island. And I really, I mentioned before, I really like Rachel's rise to power and embodiment from this secondhand embarrassment to island queen situation. And I love the moment. There's a moment where
Island queen.
Yeah, island queen. Island queen.
This is public.
This is public. But yeah, so there's a moment where Linda Little realizes that she's Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
She does the thing. I swear she does the same thing
what?
that Michelle Pfeffernuss-Pfeiffer, Icon Queen, does. Where when a woman sticks out one hand and then she rubs the back of the hand up kind of like a cat, and she looks at herself and she's like, "What, bitch? This me?"
Yeah.
Looks at her reflection and she's like, "What?
Yeah.
I am radiant.
Yeah, I'm radiant. I'm thriving. I'm coming into my power.
I'm literally
and she had
unstoppable."
That moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really good job. They definitely have a great range of emotions, and they play it. It all seems very believable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they handled their dark humor well too.
Absolutely.
Some dark humor moments. Of course, Sam Raimi.
One of the things I put in here is surprisingly funny film. I give this a 10 as well.
Mm-hmm.
The pain. I felt pain watching her exist. On the airplane scene, they're laughing at her.
Yeah. While she's working.
And I'm not someone who really would consider themselves a victim of anybody's teasing or taunting. Not now. Not for a long time.
I have been, but not now. I mean, not that I know of.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so sad for me.
I'd kick somebody's ass.
And that's what people are always trying to fight.
Yeah.
Over me.
Well, that's literally my job.
Okay.
But watching it was very triggering. Yeah. It was so painful. It made me think of times where people tried to make me feel that way. It made me think of times I watched other people make people feel that way.
Yeah.
It made me think of times I made people feel that way and then had regrets about it.
Yeah.
And it was whoa, this is horrible. And, Dylan, you're a really good actor because especially now thinking of all the other roles I've seen you in where you are a very good guy.
He's very lovable.
Bro, I wanted Brad to die.
Yeah.
Brad, I can't express this enough. Their acting is so good in this.
So good.
And it was so frustrating just watching that. It was evil, man. Just some of the things were so evil. And then he had a dynamic of actual softness when it came to his fiance in the movie and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it was just some wild stuff. Very hard to process.
Yeah.
He did thank her once, which I was surprised.
Yeah.
Before he jumped to criticizing her, you could see a glimmer in there of thank you, And then he started to be bitch, and this is stuff that's in the trailer, you need to stop playing Mary Susie Homemaker.
Yeah.
And get us off of this. Sir, how am I going to send a distress signal with what?
Yeah. With what? I'm literally trying to make sure we survive. Survival is, and that's how it should be. Survival is number one. After I make sure we're good and we're safe as we can be, that's when we start looking for solutions on
Correct.
how we can get out of here.
Correct.
And mind you, it's only been like, I think maybe like a day and a half. Because he said this shit as soon as he woke up.
Pretty much.
Yeah. They were so good at this.
They were so good.
They were killing it.
They were so good. And then, you know, there was other things that, like, I always like, is there going to be romantic? And it's kind of go towards story too. There's going to be like romantic tension between them.
Yeah.
And it really didn't come to it. And ultimately what I think the idea of the two of them was like a man and an object, a woman and a pet.
Oh, you
and
did say that.
There wasn't like actual sexual
kind of
chemistry or tension
like
or anything.
Yeah.
It was more about her being a tool to get him free and him being a pet that she could have as a companion in this space. Very wild. So yeah.
Absolutely. So next we have cinematography. I also gave it 10.
Yeah.
There's some really like good and interesting shots here. I mean, to start off the movie, we're on the ground, we're on the floor, looking at feet. And I think I wonder if that's like a gradual thing, whereas as you go along the story, the camera goes higher and higher and higher. That might be the case. And probably to symbolize Rachel McAdams, Linda, just being down. And you know, there's the whole thing at work, that whole work culture thing where you have to start from the ground up.
Yeah.
So the movie opens and we're at floor level, looking at legs and shoes.
True.
That was a great point for me for cinematography. There's a lot of great close-ups, just to kind of show off that the intimacy of whatever the scene is and kind of that internal anguish. We have some great shots at the island. I mean, they really make a good use of just kind of giving you an idea of like how this island is set up, just how wild it is and all that stuff. We have a lot of, there's a great editing thing that happens too when she's kind of setting up where they're going to be, like, tying everything together. It's just quick cuts.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I gave cinematography a 9. I think it was almost perfect, but it was really, honestly, pretty great.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. So the plane crash. You've seen plane crashes done a lot. There were things, and this also links to the acting. When I tell you that none of those disgusting, knuckle-headed dude bro twats saw death coming at them and responded with humility or grace.
No, they all
everyone
ascended.
were exactly who they were. And that was so shocking and surprising.
It was, right? It was
Because
like,
I'm
oh my God.
You're dying. But you know, at the end of the day, some people face death with self-preservation overall, over their morals and everything. And it was so wild. And that scene was pretty good.
It was really good.
Also, that affected story is like how the plane goes down and how we see Bradley on the beach. Girl, how? But anyways. The crash itself was so intense and it was done well. The time lapse, it was interesting. I didn't necessarily love it, but there were a couple of like time-lapse situations, little, can't remember what that's called. Montage. Like the one, my favorite one was the one where he was trying to do all the things by himself. And my sister was living over there.
She was.
She made herself that little hat visor to look cute. And it was so quick and everything was happening and nothing was working for him. You could see him picking up some of what she was doing, but he couldn't do any of it properly. And that was very successful. And I feel like in certain moments, it was like a shift in tone that was like, is this supposed to be intense or funny? But like the waves and there was a scene in the water that was like super wild. But one of the things too, the CGI was pretty good for most of it, except there was a big wide shot when they were going up the mountain.
Oh, you were like,
horrible. To me, didn't like it. But as soon as they came in, I would have to assume y'all were not on that damn ledge. But it was stunning. There's like a scene with a cliff And I was like, this looks good. Even if this is CGI,
it looks good. It looks like y'all
great.
are where y'all are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was just a couple of things I just dinged at that one point. But yeah, we have a scene where one of them climbing out of the water, and I was like, girl, what in the ring hell is this? It was good. So yeah.
Very good. And then the last thing we have here is sound design. I gave that a 10 as well. Now there's a lot of things going on here. You know, you got your plane crash, you got your twig snapping, you got a few different things going on where sound is used. But they really won me over with the score, like the music choice they use. And like, especially it really, by the end of it, it's so bombastic, it's so frantic and frenetic. It's given like Hitchcock, it's given like some kind of Edgar Allan Poe adaptation. It's given old horror. Cause it's just like we are all in it and we are trying to make it out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what really won me over with the sound design. So I do give that a 10.
For sure. For sound design, I gave it a 10 as well. I think that it's one of the most successful things about the film, and it had a very great score throughout the film. I know some films can use silence for specific reasons. This wasn't really a silent film, and for a good reason.
For sure.
And there's like a big, third act, final action that was scored tremendously. And I was at the edge of my seat. It was so good. It was almost like when we watched Our Friend Martin, where it was like, y'all are in danger.
Yeah.
The music was like giving, this is it.
Yeah, this is
and
it.
Bitches are gonna get hurt.
There's no guarantee on who's gonna make it out of this.
No, and I thought it was so good.
It was
and
very
then
good.
Phenomenally, she referenced her favorite karaoke song being One Way or Another, which if you know is the Regina George song in Mean Girls.
That's true.
Where they're trying to tear her down. And they cut out the little parts, her bra is showing out, and she looks down on herself and she's like, I'm that bitch.
Yeah.
She does a little bounce walk up out of there.
Crazy.
And, we hear that used in the film.
Yeah.
And we see her be that. And it was pretty amazing. It really, I want to assume, I trust Sam Raimi.
I do trust it on purpose. I hadn't made that connection, but I love the songs. I was so caught up in loving the song. Yeah. So I remember you saying it, and I was like, oh my God, that is the song they used. Yeah. And
to see her be this character, Linda Little, who was like the antithesis of Regina George at the beginning of the film. She's like meek, she's weak, she's disrespected. People think that she's ugly. And Regina has never done anything of the sort. And then to see her towards the end of it be so in control. She was always smart.
Yeah.
And really just take charge. I think that, very, very solid. So I give that a 10.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think I have anything else to add. I think my overall score is a 9.75.
Okay.
What's your overall?
My overall score was a 9.25.
9.25. I mean, needless to say, we highly recommend going to go see this.
Yeah.
I kind of want to, now that I'm talking about it, I kind of want to go see it again.
Absolutely,
it was
go
a time.
watch it again.
It was a time. And that score was something else. Because you have a score throughout, but it don't get real crazy until the end. Because the end get real crazy.
Yeah.
So definitely check this out. And you know what? Thank you so much for tuning into us today.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Anything else?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
I want to say that I definitely suggest you do watch this film.
We do.
I think that in this time, is very much needed. I think that it is an action-packed, beautifully shot, surprisingly funny piece of cinema, where we have two actors, who actually give a powerhouse performance.
They do.
And showdown. And when you're placed in an environment where the majority of the film, it's just these two actors, you really either have to be able to deliver And you can't really rest your laurels on too much. And despite the CGI being, fairly pretty great, the environment being beautiful, it really is depending on these two people, on their development and the portrayal of these characters, and watching them evolve over time. And seeing Bradley soften up and seeing his background. Dylan O'Brien did an excellent job giving that. And Rachel did an amazing job playing, a less conventional type of character she would be casted, and evolving and really showing the strength of women and being underestimated. I think everybody should see it. Beautifully done. Fantastic score.
Absolutely all those things. So now I would like to thank you for tuning in to us. Thank you so much for your support. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are in the opening days of, again, Black History Month. So our reviews will be all, Black-focused projects. This is a WILDCARD Wednesday.
This is a WILDCARD Wednesday.
WILDCARD Wednesday. So yes, please like, share, subscribe. We are everywhere. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. Wherever you want to find us, you can find us as Really and Dylan.
Yes, and please make sure click that bell. Subscribe.
Yes.
We have new content coming out weekly on several days of the week. And we want to say thank you. We appreciate your time and investment.
Yes.
Thank you for helping us grow our channel. And if you're here, listen, take the quick minute, click those 2 buttons, give us a thumbs up, and then let us know. Are you interested in seeing this film? Are you excited to go see it? Will you see it now because we said? And give us your thoughts once you've seen the film as well in the comments below.
That part. Give us all the information.
Love
Run
you.
it.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.